lawless Muslim country, just about.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Out of Nowhere. My special guest today is Aggie Knott. On today's show, we're going to delve into the thoughtful topic how people keep connection with loved ones who have passed. And it's not about literal communication, it's about remembrance, meaning the ways we honor memory. Now then, Aggie, when you hear the phrase talking to the dead, what comes into your mind for you personally?
Oh boy, oh boy. This is a subject that I don't know. I would love to talk to the atheists tonight
Oh, yes.
because by the time I'm done talking to them, they will have no excuse and no explanation for their opinions because it'll be all taken away. Because there's so much evidence that something lives on beyond the time that you drop the body, and popularly called dying. There, what we see and what governments and organizations and atheists and a lot of people don't want to look at is all the evidence for that there is an intelligence that move on beyond the physical body. And that intelligence has also a form of substance which is non-physical. Some of it may call it an astral vehicle, which is not the intelligence, because the astral vehicle that is attached to the physical body, that has no intelligence of its own. It only works on memory. But the soul essence is totally different. It has an enormous intelligence. But don't be fooled by that, because just there's a saying also saying that just because you're dead, it does not make you smart. With other words, you don't know all the answers when you drop the body. You still have to learn a few things. And there is hordes of people that have had near-death experiences. And they've seen things. They've been able to experience things. And they come back and talk about it. And tonight I'm going to talk about some of the things that you can do to talk and communicate with the departed ones. Let's say that you have a spouse or a mother or father that passed on before you. Yes, there is a way you can communicate with them. And to start that out, I would want to say in in 1901, Nikola Tesla, he got granted a patent on a radio that was able to communicate with the departed ones. In an interview, Nikola Tesla said that he said in the interview that uh, I'm paraphrasing now because it's been a while ago that I read this.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he said, I was alone in my laboratory at night, and I had the radio on the table, and I was listening to voices talking back and forth in a language I did not understand, and it terrified me. Well, Nikola Tesla was a very educated man. He was fluent in 7 languages.
Mm.
So if there was a language he did not understand, yeah, that could happen, but it was not a major language. Now, Where those voices came from, he did not understand or know. But there is a lot of languages. I think the UN said there is some 60 different languages that is used by majority of people besides dialects and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, this invention that he created is very simple to make. It's something like 12, 14 different parts to it. You can actually put it together. Even if you don't understand electronics hardly at all, you can go to the internet, and I'll tell you where to go here in a second. What you can do
Okay.
to find it. It's called the Tesla Spirit Radio. If you go to the YouTube and put the Tesla Spirit Radio in the search bar,
Yeah.
you will have a whole bunch of videos of people that put that radio together and also other things that I'll mention, and they listening to it, they asking questions, and the voices come back with answers like, what is your name? And then whoever's on the other side come back with a name that could be anything. And this is kind of alarming for a lot of people. So uh, there's another saying that is, don't ask the question unless you are willing and can handle the answer. Let's say you ask, when will I die? Don't ask that question unless you can
Correct.
handle the answer. So let's say that you wanted to talk to your mom that died a few years back. You can ask the question, give it a full name, and she may not be there, but the universal fabric is of such that everything is connected to everything. You are still connected to your mom on the other side, non physical mom. So when you ask to speak to her, there's a good likelihood she may get the call and show up. That doesn't happen all the time, but others may come
Mm.
and ask the others, find her. And they may be able to, on that level of consciousness, they may be able to find her and bring her. But also remember, there are pranksters out there. A lot.
Disguised it.
Yeah, some of them might be lying to you.
Mm.
And let's say that you ask for your mom and someone show up as a female voice, but the voice sometimes is not very clear. It is understandable, but it kind of sounds metallic or in different ways. So it's hard to recognize the quality or particular voice print that your mom had. So you can, if you ask, is this you, mom? And she says, yes, fine. Know that somebody could be there lying to you. So ask something that only your mom would know. If if the answer come back correct, then it's probably her.
It's
If
funny. It's
if
funny you
they
say that, Aggie, because I've got a photo of my mom just up there side of me. And every morning I get up and I come down, have a drink of tea. I always look up and always say, "Good morning, Mom."
oh, that is nice.
And I can feel some sort of energy coming back and saying, I'm fine, I'm okay.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. because we can communicate even if it is not verbal. See, the thing is that we don't die. Now, it feels like it, but they're not physical anymore, but they are probably more alive than we are right now. They are very much aware. They have an intelligence and an awareness that we don't have. So we can communicate with them. But go to the internet and put in the search bar on the browser Tesla Spirit Radio, and you'll get a whole page of stuff, or many pages, of links to websites where you can buy the parts, or there is probably a few of them that they can actually make it for you.
Yeah, you can buy a spirit box, to call it.
Yeah, that's the other one that they're all done. That's just like a radio you can
Yeah,
buy.
that's all
But
it is. Frequencies.
yeah, now if you find a website that give you the parts, you can make it yourself. Or if you find somebody, the Tesla Spirit Radio is 12, 14 different parts. So it's pretty simple to put together. If you have somebody make it for you, they'll probably charge you about $100 or so. But if you buy the parts and make it yourself, I priced that out. Sometime it came to a little over $20.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. So you can have a lot of fun with this. But
Yes,
remember also, it is not a toy.
correct.
You have real people, real spirits on the other side. Show them respect. Don't fool with them.
When you're saying that, what do you think of these? I'm going to say now, Ouija boards.
That's a different thing that I would highly advise not to mess with,
Correct.
because there is nothing good, nothing of positive vibration, nothing of the light coming through that board. That's where the playground of the pranksters and the negative entities, that's their playground.
Yeah,
They've taken that over. And anything good that is trying to come through that board is chased away by the ones that controls it.
yeah, and you
So
can finish up getting an attachment.
yeah, absolutely. Once if you use the board and make a contact, that is a negative entity that love to communicate with you. And when you're done, they don't go away a lot of time. They stay with you, stay in the house. They give you thoughts that you think is your own thoughts, but it's not. Usually thoughts that is not very good, not for your purpose. And then you mentioned the spirit box.
Yeah,
Go to Amazon and put the spirit box in the search bar. You're going to find, oh, probably about 20 different kinds of it. You can buy them from anything from $100 down to about $25, something like that. So, and they work really well. They, but you need to also remember that's not a toy either. If you believe it or not, go to a graveyard. I did that when I was back in Omaha when I lived back there. We did go to a graveyard one time,
yeah,
and I put together a contraption, looked like a pyramid shape that amplifies sound, and I'll show you a drawing of it in a second.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we walked around the graveyard, and we had a tape recorder that we ran the tape recorder so that we absorbed the voice through the pyramid, and they went right into the microphone on the tape recorder. And of course, we were recording, so we didn't hear anything. But then later on, we walked off to the side where there was a bench there, and we sat down and we ran the recording, and we heard voices. One of them was really strong, and that voice must have been right at the entrance of the pyramid, so that we could, right there. That entity was speaking right into the pyramid, and the entity said, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And one of the guys that was with me, there were three of us, I think, and uh, he split just like that. He just left immediately.
I bet you didn't.
No, it took us a few minutes to get out of there, but we left.
Yeah, but that's one of those entities what don't want you there.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if you can see this, but the contraption that we made. Oh boy, that's not
Up a bit
doing.
further. Let's have a look.
No, that is not going to do it.
No.
No.
Oh, I can see a bit there. Yeah.
Yeah, we built it from coat hangers. We got them welded together at the bottom, and then we had four rods going out like this, and we wound it with aluminum foil.
Well, yeah.
And then that became a kind of like a funnel all the way down at the apex of the pyramid shaped pyramid there. Then that's where we put right at the microphone of the tape recorder.
Tape recorder.
So the sound coming in was magnified going down the pyramid and into the microphone.
I'm with you.
It's simple to make. Everybody can do this. But then again, whatever you hear, show them respect. Because if they get angry, and a lot of the entities that is hanging out in the lower astral worlds are the ones that has not gone home yet. They're confused, they're angry, they don't know sometimes that they're dead. They just, if you insult them or get them angry, they may follow you home. And you may not necessarily like what they do sometimes.
It happened to a friend of mine going back years ago. My friend has passed away now, but he was down at Rendlesham Forest. He was told not to go that night by a good friend of both of us then. So a psychic medium. She said, "You're thinking of going to Rendlesham Forest tonight? Do not go." Anyway, he got a phone call and said, "Oh, my brother's coming up to meet me." And my brother said, "Will you take me down to Rendlesham?" So anyway, they went down there. Didn't realise on the way back, his brother went back home, 4-hour trip back home. Derek got inside the house, went to put his computer on, and next minute, unconscious. This entity smashed his head against the computer, broke his nose, finished out, and never woke up until the morning. And his first thought went, "Well, I wonder where my dog is." And it was in the bathroom, in the bath, and it was shaking. everything. Anyway, Derek managed to get to the door and get somebody to come and see to him. Finished in hospital. What do you say to somebody? How have you broke your nose? So anyway, he phoned the psychic medium up, and she came and she said, "What did I say to you, Derek? Do not go to Rendlesham. I'd warned you not to go, but this could happen." Anyway, she came and she managed to get the entities away, the bad spirits away from the house. And she said, "When I tell you something in future, do it, Derek."
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Followed him home.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a toy. We gotta treat it with respect. One more thing I want to say about the Tesla Spirit Radio, and that is that if somebody say, "Yeah, well, he was listening to a radio station when he heard that," in some. Well, the thing about it is that the first normal radio station in the United States was registered in 1920, 19 years after that Tesla had that experience.
Oh my God.
So that was not a radio. There were a few radios in 1901 because they were at universities where they were doing experiments with it. And there were about three or four on the East Coast and probably some other places. But that was not what he heard.
No.
So yeah, that was the radio KEKA in 1920. That was the very first one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
and
I was going to ask you a question, if you could create something in memory of someone, what would it be?
say again.
If you could create something in memory of someone, what would it be?
If I could create, I'm sorry, I couldn't catch that. What could I create?
If you could create something in memory of
Oh,
someone, what would it be?
I don't know. It's memory. Hmm. I imagine you can create anything in your mind, and once it is created in a mind, it has a non-physical substance. Remember the saying, "Thoughts are things."
Yeah.
So I've created a lot of things in my mind that later on became physical and I could enjoy it. But there's a process for that. In fact, if you want to figure out how to create things out of seemingly nothing, go have a look at this book, Spiritual Science, Higher Conscious Thinking, and How to Access the Universal Consciousness. It's on Amazon, and also there's a lot of things in there that will make people's lives better, especially when it comes to a lot of people call it law of attraction or manifestation or created out of us. We're having a mastermind group that we meet on Sundays, and
Oh,
we
yeah, you do.
create out of seemingly nothing sometimes. So there's a way to do it.
Yeah, and I know when you talk about somebody who's passed away, sometimes storytelling helps us to continue conversation with loved ones. Like, you remember your granddad telling you a story about something, and you think, "Oh yeah, I remember that now."
Yeah, yeah. Actually there are such things as false memories too. There are things. Let's say that we see things and then we keep thinking about it over the years, and after a while, it becomes our memory that we thought we did. Because the mind kind of alters it in a way because it becomes personal to us, so that the subconscious mind thinks, yeah, I did that. Well, maybe we didn't. So, but there is another way that you can communicate with dead ones. let me mention that because there's a story behind it. There's something I read in a newspaper back in Europe 50 years ago or more.
Right.
And there was a guy in southern France. I think it was maybe it was Toulouse or somewhere down there. It's a small town, and he got a hold of he made a Tesla coil, and he went out to the graveyard. He found a grave that was freshly dug, and somebody was in there. They put him in there probably maybe a day or two ago.
Right.
And then he put the Tesla coil right next to it and had an extension cord and plugged it in. He walked away about 20 feet and started taking pictures. There was quite often that he took a picture of the guy laying in the ground, but now he was standing up next to the Tesla coil.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there was the spiritual essence or the astral vehicle that showed up in the picture because that essence is not buried, that is separated from the physical body. When he took these pictures, he did it several times, and then he started showing it to his friends in town, and it scared the chocolate out of them because they they couldn't believe what they saw, and they thought he was working with Satan. So
Ah,
they turned on him, and he said at the end of the short article that I had to move from town. It says otherwise they probably would have killed me. So if you have a Tesla coil and you make one, the Tesla coil he had looked like it was about, oh, maybe around 30, 40 centimeters tall. So that was a good size Tesla coil.
yeah.
And he, uh, he made it himself. And if you have one or if you make one, they're pretty simple to make actually. You can buy the parts and put it together. Try something like that and walk away 20 feet or probably even more if it's a really strong Tesla coil.
Hmm.
So take some pictures and see what you get. It is very likely that you will see things that is non-physical. And you can also communicate with the guy that stands next to the grave. You He may not be able to hear you because he's in a different reality that does not carry voice. But write messages on a whiteboard or a paper.
Oh
Ask
yeah.
questions and show it to him and make it a yes or no question. If it is a no question, he can say no. If it's a yes, he nod his head. So this is what you can actually communicate through the Tesla coil. So try it, and if you do, man, oh man, get a hold of me. I love to hear from you and see what kind of
Oh my
results.
God. Exactly.
I
It's
love
wor-
to hear that.
it's worth trying anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
To get a hold of us because this is something that it would be fun to hear from you.
It would be.
Yeah.
If you could send one message to someone who's passed, what would you want them to know?
Well, the people that is hanging around here, they did not get the memo that they're not supposed to be here. Once you drop the body, you're supposed to go home because this is not your world anymore. So I would say to them, you don't belong here. Go home. find the light and go through it. Then you'll be home on the other side. And then you can choose what to do if you want to come back in another incarnation in a different part of the world or whatever, in a different family. Or if you want to continue on the other side, there are jobs over there too. Or you could come back as a guide. If you feel qualified, you can come back as a guide for someone that you care about.
Hmm.
And that is, a lot of people do that. That's why we have guides. A lot of people say they're talking with their guides.
To do, yeah.
What they should do is to ask them, who were you before? Maybe you can find out it's your grandma or there's someone that you actually have knowledge of.
Yeah.
Because if it's a family member, they usually have your best interest at heart. Unless it's your brother in law that was a drunk, he may want you to start drinking.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, very, very good indeed, Argay. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I know some people write letters to them, to the loved ones,
Yeah.
um, making feelings, what they had for them in the past, or they might have done something wrong uh, against them in the past, and they want to just rewrite it and say, I'm awfully sorry for what's happened in the past. I just thought I'd write a letter to you explaining. Hopefully you'll forgive me.
Yeah. Yes. Now, also, there is a little confusion about what leaves the body when you die. There's several things that leaves. One of them is the astral vehicle, the astral body. Then there's another one that is the spiritual essence of you that holds all consciousness of this life and previous lifetimes. And then there is thought, or should I say, thought forms. The things that you create in your mind on the basis of, on the brain, actually, as thought forms that can get attached to you and they stay with you until the body dies and then it leaves. So, I'll give you an example. The astral vehicle can be seen while we are still here in the physical. Because probably about 8 years ago here, there was an older man that he died in this house. And we just found out that he died. And then about 20 minutes later, maybe 10 minutes later, I walked to the bedroom where he was and I stood in the doorway and I was looking at him in the bed. And I could see a gray substance, kind of like long, elongated human form. It was kind of it's hard to say if it actually was a human form. It looked like it was maybe legs, but they were together, as well as maybe a little bigger around the shoulders and kind of like a head thing. The gray substance left the body and whoosh, right went up 45 degrees and through the ceiling and was gone. And I stood there with I had to pick my jaw back up because that fell right to the floor. I was just flabbergasted. I actually did see that. And what I could kick myself for, I could have had the phone out and taken pictures of it, but I didn't know it was going to happen, so I didn't. But you could actually see the um, the astral body leave. Now, the spiritual essence you cannot see unless the spiritual essence want you to see it because it's totally non physical at a higher vibration than what the astral body is. It is way up there, and we don't have a way to look in there, though they can see down in vibration to see us. So you can communicate with the spiritual essence by thought and mental images. They will understand that.
Yeah.
Now, there's another one, another way that will become more commonplace shortly to communicate with departed ones, and that is called the soul phone. Yeah, it's a phone,
It's a
but
phone.
it's run through a computer. There is Dr. Schwartz, Gary Schwartz. He works at the University of Arizona, and he has an advisory council that is helping him put this together. Very credible people. He even got it patented. What they are doing is that they are typing questions on the computer. They run that through a circuitry that they put together and an antenna that transmits it out. And that antenna transmits somewhere that is non physical. And they ask questions. And then when the answer come back, it doesn't come back in words, it comes back in color. There's two lights on the computer. If it's a green light that shines up, the answer is yes.
Yes.
If it's a red light, the answer is no. So if you ask, let's say, whatever, it's a yes or no question. If you said a green light, that means it's affirmative, it's a yes. And what he said, oh, that's probably maybe a couple of years ago now, year two. He said, so far on the questions that we ask, the answers that are coming back have been accurate, all of them. So he is talking to something that is really intelligent back there because they have asked them really complicated questions.
Questions.
And when they verify and they go back and research the answer, they find out that yes, that answer, green light or the red light, was accurate. And that, he says, I think it was 2 years ago, he said, give me 5 years, he says, and I will have a contraption that you can sit down and you can have verbal communication with somebody on the other side.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Technology is moving on so quickly these years now. It
Yeah.
might have even got it ready now.
Yeah, it's the technology is really just amazing. And by the way, for those of you that want to research this, go ahead to go to www.thesoulphonefoundation.org and look at the advisory council also. Look at what the latest research they have done. You're going to be amazed.
It sounds like it as well.
Yeah.
You know, things you could find out
Hmm.
will
It's
be
phenomenal
amazing.
what they're doing. And the amazing thing to me is that they got it patented.
God, yeah, that's better still.
Yeah,
Nobody else can use it.
yeah. I'm a patent holder and I know what it takes. You have to prove scientifically that it is correct in order to get your patent.
Right.
So, wow.
You know
Yeah.
exactly.
Now,
How are we doing for time? About we're about 20 minutes left.
yeah, one quick note on the last way to communicate with dead ones is astral travel. It is simple to learn, though I didn't say easy because there is some practice on your part. You may have to keep trying and trying and trying for 30 days until you condition your mind to accept that, yes, this is real, I can do it. When that happens, you're able to step out of the body and you may find entities outside that you can communicate with you. But I would highly recommend to go to Broadcast Team Alpha and scroll down in the videos and find some videos that speaks on astral travel, or do read the book here because that explains how you can do it and how you can safely do it without being scared.
That's the word, safely.
Yeah, because there's nothing out there that can hurt your body. So you can't get hurt that way, but you can have mental scars. You can come back with mental scars caused by fear of what you see out there unless you are prepared for it. The
Yeah.
astral world is not really a place to be, especially the lower levels of it.
And you've done it a few times.
Yeah, it's I do. I am an astral traveler, and I've seen a lot of things that is unbelievable, but it's right there in front of you.
And when
That's
you look at things like that for the first time, what goes through your mind?
the first time. The first time probably was just get back to my body really fast. I want nothing to do with this. But if you know what is out there, know what to expect, and know how to treat those things with respect, there's nothing that can hurt you. It can be a phenomenal education. Or you can go places and see things. Let's say you have a brother in law on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast. You can go there and visit them. But I would suggest maybe just call them first and say, hey, can I come and visit?
Yes.
Or you can go to the moon and have a look be in the craters looking at things on the moon. If you do that, find the Schrodinger crater. There's a building in there looking like a swastika. And
Right.
that's where the Germans have built their base inside part of that. That's the Nazi Germans, not the Germans from today.
No.
But that's it's simple to learn, and I explain a lot about that in the book. Here, you can learn how to do it.
And does it take a lot of time to rectify it, to find out how to do it properly?
Yeah, there's several different methods, and I talk about that in the book also. You know, you could just lay down and you create a vibration in the body, and then you just roll right out, stand up, turn around, and look at yourself in the bed. So there is it's a process for this that is fairly simple, but it needs practice for the
Yeah,
mind to accept it.
exactly. It's accepting.
Yeah, yeah,
Very interesting,
yes,
that topic.
yes, it is. So,
If
and
you've got time, I'd like to talk about a little bit about Sasquatch.
okay,
When people
yeah.
talk about Sasquatch, do you see it more as a physical creature, a myth, or something entirely different?
Well, there are. What should I say? Yes and no. That's really a non-answer, but it is one that applies, and that is that most of them are very physical. And there are some people that have said they saw the Sasquatch walking away from them and suddenly disappeared, which means they have gone interdimensional. So I don't know about those stories because I have no special experience with the Sasquatch, but I've studied a little bit. There is one incident in here up in Nevada, north of Las Vegas. In 1999, on August 6th, there was a huge forest fire. Thousands of acres were burned up. And there were a fire crew out there there was something like 600 firefighters up there trying to put this thing out.
Oh my God.
And at one time, there was a tall, hairy creature come walking out of the forest where they was burning, and that creature had burn marks. They were burned on the hands and the feet, and a lot of damage to the body
Yeah.
from the fire. And that guy, hairy guy, was about 7.5 foot tall, which is about 2 meters and 28 centimeters tall. A really big guy.
That is big.
And he had human features, 5 fingers, but he had burns all over the body, or not all over the body, but a lot of different places. And they called in a veterinarian, they called a doctor there, and they were trying to help him as much as they could. He came walking up to them. He sat down on his haunches, sat down, and looked at them. It was obviously he knew he needed help.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a Native American girl there that he related very much with. He held her hand, that obviously there was something that made him feel safer and comfortable. And she stayed with him for as long as they had him there. And there was they had a stretcher that they put him on, and when they raised the stretcher up, he was so long that the feet was hanging off the end, and they took and put him into a van, and they took him away. And the girl went with him, so I don't know where they went. But there was a guy. His name was Tom Powell. He works with an organization that is a Bigfoot research organization, and they call themselves BFRO. He went and investigated this afterwards, and he found, yes, the fire was real and the people was real. And he found one guy that would talk to him about it, and he said that the Bigfoot, he used no language. He communicated with them more like grunts and other sounds that he communicate with them. But he could communicate better that way with the Native American girl. And he had brown hair. He was well kept. He was clean. There was no stench or smell from it. There was more like a natural smell, he said. And the skull of the humanoid there was twice the size of a human, and it had more like human-like feature. There was no flat forehead; they were straight up, and also kind of like a flattened out nose a little bit, but it was human features to it, and very strong muscles, and he had a very human autonomy, I mean, anatomy. They were very strong muscles, and these creatures, they are on about every continent. You see them in South America. They have them in Europe, especially
Yeah.
in the Swiss Alps and over there. They are all over the place. They are in China, in India, and in the northern China region. They are, we have the abominable snowman. They call them the Yeti. Some of them are totally white when they live in the snow all the time. So it's a camouflage type of thing, I suppose. So we're not supposed to see them. But the Yeti can be, they can be brown, or some of them are more black. So they're all over the place. There's all kinds of evidence for this.
Aggie, do you think they've always been here?
I think they have been here before we came. They are some of the original people, and they are very intelligent. We see them, they're using tools. They live in caves a lot, if there are caves. Otherwise, they build themselves kind of like teepee looking dwellings that they put moss on it so it's dry inside, kind of like the Native Americans did, 300 years ago.
I know
So
the
they,
Native American Indians say, but they used to barter with them. They used to give them food, and the Sasquatch used to give them food.
yeah, the Native Americans, they know all about those guys. They say they are very friendly. They used in the past they used to help each other. If one Native American tribe started to run out of food, especially in the winter, maybe it could be a little tough. The Sasquatch came and helped them. They brought them food. They brought, let's say, if they killed a moose, they brought the moose. I mean, they carried the moose on their shoulders and gave it to them. Now, a moose could be what, 800 pounds.
Oh, he's
These,
a yeah, yeah.
these are strong guys. So yeah, that's but they've been around a long time. The stories from Native Americans are phenomenal, and the government is covering it all up. They don't want anybody to know about this.
I know. I think it's in Washington State. You're not allowed to shoot one.
Yeah. Well,
Do you think they've got a live one then?
the who?
Do you think they've got a live Sasquatch, the government?
Yeah, very well would be because they're all over the place, and even talk about giants in Norway. That's the most protected, brainwashed country in the world next to the Danes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Danish, I think they were elected to be the happiest people on earth one time
Yes.
because the government can do no wrong. Everything is good the government is doing. So they're happy. Yeah, good luck with that. And I can say this because I'm from over there.
I know you can. I know.
Yeah, but I tell you, listening to this, it it kind of brought you out of the box a little bit because outside of the box is where all the good stuff is. Go do your own research. You're going to be amazed what you will find. Go to broadcastteamalpha.com, go into the picture gallery. We got 5,000 pictures of things that should not exist, but it does. And also go to our YouTube channel and scroll down into there. Find that it's about 5 years ago I did that video on the Sasquatch that walked out of the fire, and it's about a 20-minute video on it that explains
Right.
much more in detail what they did to him and what he was.
Did they? I wonder if they let him go in the finish.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if they let him go after he got better from the burn.
Yeah, yeah. We don't know what happened to him, but the government took him away, so I am not too optimistic. They don't usually do things that is good for people or animals. They're property to them, so they do what they want to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I know you talk about this mastermind thing you do.
Oh yes, that
Tell us a
mask.
little. Tell us a little bit about what happens on that show.
The mastermind is, first of all, the definition of a mastermind is when two or more minds are united in harmony, they create a third mind that has the potential mind power of the two or more of them multiplied by each other. To give you an example, is one of our members, his wife was in the hospital with COVID. She was in a really bad shape. She was basically on her deathbed. The next day, they were going to put her on a ventilator and give her remdesivir, and we all know what that does. That do
Yeah,
away with you.
yes.
So, so he said, "Can we do something?" So we wrapped our mind, all of the on the panel. We wrapped our mind around her, visualized her walking out of the hospital perfectly healthy. And at the end of the session, I kind of flippantly said, "Yeah, she'll be home tomorrow." And we went on. I never thought about it. In the afternoon, late afternoon, the next day, her husband called me and he said, "My wife is home." And the most intelligent thing I could say was, "Huh?" And because I couldn't even believe it. But our mastermind cured her. And then he said that the doctors told her, "You recovered so fast that there were no reason for us to keep you any longer." They sent her home. And the thing about the really cute thing is that if you know anything about hospitals in America, they don't let you walk out of the hospital. They put you in a wheelchair and roll you out the door, and then you can leave. They will not let you walk out.
Oh,
She said, "I don't want the wheelchair. I'm walking out." She walked out by herself.
what did they say about it at that time then?
Well, the doctors, they were dumbfounded because they said this should not have happened. It never happens. So the mastermind can do amazing. We have many stories like this. Also of financial nature, windfalls, people that badly needed money, and we surrounded them with the visual image of abundance, and suddenly the money shows up so they can do what they need to do. These are the things. If you want to be part of this, first of all, go read the book. I'll explain how to do this for each individual one of you, because also, if you want to be part of, come and check it out, and maybe we can help you create something. Send us an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com. I'll get the email, I'll send you the link, you come and check it out and see what you think. Because, first of all, we're having a lot of fun. We have deep discussions and teachings about stuff that changes people's lives. This book also changes people's life. I get the email because it teaches you how to use your mind in ways you normally would think would be impossible.
Yeah, there's lots out there what we don't know about, and like you say, and
Yeah,
if you can teach people how to use your mind and your brain, it'll help people and it'll help your family.
yeah. The thing is, the science tells us we're using anything from 2 to 4% of our brain at any time. What would happen if somebody taught you how to use 20%, 30?
40%.
Yeah. Lots of good things happen.
Yes, and I'm glad it. I'm glad you are helping people as well.
Yes, I get the emails and they're telling me that the book changed my life. And if you're in college, there's a tip for you. If you're in college, if you have friends that you're going to school or you're going to school, I'm talking about how you can learn how to assimilate information out of a book at 50 to 100,000 words per minute with 95% retention. I used to travel around the country, teach a mind development course like that. And it's amazing things that can be done once you understand how the mind works.
It sounds very interesting,
Yeah,
and it would help a lot of people out there what are doing courses, wanting to get on in life.
yeah,
Remembering is the main thing, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. We also I talk about improving memory on just average day things. If you're reading a book, take notes, write in the book. Make sure the book look like a mess when you're done with it, but notes everywhere, and use red underlining. The mind remembers red better than the dead black ink.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
That's clever. That is very clever. But
Oh boy.
wait, so where can people get your books then?
I go to Amazon, put my name in there, and everything there comes up. I got a couple of video documentaries there, and actually, I have another book too that I hardly ever talk about. That's called, Universal Success Principles and How Billionaires Think. If you are in business, want to be in business, or want a better, smooth running family, that book will show you how.
Very interesting subject.
Yeah.
And it's always fascinating when you go on the show. We've talked about all different sorts of things
Well, we're
tonight, and
having a lot of fun.
it's good. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the main thing, having fun.
Yep. I insist on having fun when I do these things. I always thought they're okay to talk about UFOs and all the exotic stuff out there, but I also want to try to make people's life better.
Yes, exactly. But thank you, Aggie, for coming on at the last minute,
Yep.
like you do sometimes, and we still have a fun show.
Sounds good. So yeah, I'm here. So anytime you need me, I'll be here.
I know you will. I know you're a great guy. You are. But have a lovely weekend,
And you too.
and thank you to everyone who's
Okay.
listening to the shows, and subscribe. Don't forget subscribe to the channel.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. And
Uh,
send me a link, and I'll help you give it legs.
I will do. Thank you. I will
Yeah.
do.